All right, welcome to our first crypto breakdown of 2026. And wow, what a time to be watching the markets. Today, we're going to zero in on the technicals for the heavy hitters, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest. So many of these charts are forming major patterns, basically screaming that a big move is just around the corner. So, let's dive right in. Okay, so first things first, before we get into any specific charts, we gotta take the temperature of the market, right? We need to understand the overall psychology. And the one word that sums up early 2026 is, without a doubt, caution. You can just feel the hesitation in the air. Now, the best tool we have for this is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. This thing is so useful. It basically pulls in a whole bunch of data, like market volatility, trading volumes, even social media buzz, and it boils it all down to one simple number that tells us if people are feeling scared or if they're getting greedy. And as we kick off the year, that number is sitting at a pretty chilly 28. That puts us squarely in the fear territory. It's a really clear signal that investors are feeling anxious. They're not rushing in to buy things. It's like confidence is just sitting on the sidelines for now. So you might be asking, why is everyone so scared? Well, it's not coming out of nowhere. We've got a bit of a market hangover from the tough economic conditions back in 2025. On top of that, Bitcoin has been stuck in this tight, sideways range, which just frustrates traders. And as a result, the usual retail hype and high trading volumes, they've kind of vanished. So, with that in mind, let's turn our attention to the king, Bitcoin. Because honestly, how this fear plays out on its chart is probably going to decide where the entire market goes next. And let me tell you, the stakes could not be higher. The chart is painting a picture with two very, very different endings. We could be looking at a period of quiet before a massive push higher. Some analysts are even mapping out a very slim chance at 170K. Or this could be the calm before a pretty significant storm. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Take a look at this pattern. Bitcoin's price is getting squeezed between a support line that's rising and a resistance line that's falling. This forms what we call a symmetrical triangle. Think of it like a giant spring being coiled tighter and tighter. Both buyers and sellers are running out of room, forcing the price to a point. This almost always ends with a powerful, explosive move. The only question is, which way will it break? The lines in the sand are crystal clear. The bulls absolutely have to hold the support line right around $85,700. If they pull it off and the price breaks out of the top of this triangle, the first target is up near 92,000. But, and this is a big but, if that support fails, we could see a very quick drop down towards that $81,000 mark. With Bitcoin wound up so tight, let's do a quick lightning round through the major altcoins and see how they're positioned for the aftershock, no matter which way Bitcoin breaks. And we're seeing some different stories play out here. Ethereum is actually looking more bullish, trading inside a nice, clean ascending channel. That's a pattern with two parallel lines sloping upwards. XRP, on the other hand, is in what's called a falling wedge. Now, at first glance, that looks bearish, but it's often a bullish reversal pattern. It's where sellers start to get exhausted, which can lead to a really strong breakout to the upside. And this slide really shows you the key battlegrounds. For Ethereum, the big challenge is to break out of its channel and push towards $3,500, but it is critical that it holds support around $2,600. For XRP, a breakout from its wedge could target about $2.30, while a failure could risk a drop all the way back to $1.50. And speaking of XRP, there's a huge dose of long-term optimism coming from the world of traditional finance. The banking giant Standard Chartered just projected an $8 price target for 2026. Yeah, you heard that right. They're pointing to things like more regulatory clarity and the chance of new ETFs as major catalysts. Bitcoin Cash, meanwhile, is just stuck. It's in a really simple but frustrating spot. It's totally range-bound, caught between a solid floor at $592 and a tough ceiling of resistance at $630. For BCH to show any real sign of life, it has to decisively break through that $630 level. All right, it's time to talk about the ultimate wild card,
Dogecoin. As is tradition with Doge, the predictions are just all over the place, ranging from, kind of conservative to absolutely mind-bending.
And of course, that brings us to the one question that has followed this coin for years, and it's back again. Is 2026 the year? Is this the year Dogecoin finally makes that legendary mythical push to the $1 mark? Okay, so to understand the bull case, we need to talk about a huge technical signal called the golden cross. Now let's pause here because this is really important. A moving average just smooths out the price to show you the trend. The 50-day moving average is your short-term trend, the 200-day is the long-term trend. A golden cross happens when that faster short-term average crosses above the slower long-term one. It signals that momentum is turning decisively bullish, and historically, for Doge, this exact event has happened right before some of its most insane, parabolic, life-changing rallies. And that historical performance is exactly why these predictions are so wild. I mean, on the conservative end, a simple breakout could take it to around 16 cents. Then you have the $1 target, which is the big community dream. And then you have analysts looking at what happened after past golden crosses, who are mapping out a path to an almost unbelievable $57. It just shows you the massive, massive range of possibilities here. Okay, let's wrap all of this analysis up into a clear, simple watch list for you. These are the key patterns and the key price levels to keep on your radar as we navigate the start of the year. Here it is, your cheat sheet. Bitcoin, XRP, and Dogecoin are all coiling up in patterns that tell us a big move is coming. Ethereum is in a cleaner uptrend, but it has to hold its channel. And Bitcoin Cash is just waiting for someone to make a move. These are the critical support and resistance levels that will give us the clues we need to see which way the market breaks. And this leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? In a market where the main emotion is fear, are these classic technical patterns actually reliable? Or is the sentiment so powerful right now that it could just blow right past the charts? The next few weeks are going to tell us everything. Hey, if you found this breakdown helpful, please do us a huge favor and take a second to hit that like button, share this with anyone you think would find it useful, and of course, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Crypto Explorer 24/7, for more analysis just like this. Thanks for watching.